is not humility. It actually stops the flow of your cash. It stops the flow of everything that you're creating in your experience. I'm Vivian Rich, your host here at Live Richer with Ease, where we inspire ambitious women to do just that, live richer with ease, with the freedom to be, the family to love, finances to enjoy, and share. Rich friend, we are in week 3, and we are going to go through creating that abundance, that flow that you really know is yours and you really want to experience. So if you have with you your journal, The Journey, pull it out, because we're going to get ready. We're going to go through there. We're going to rock and roll, and we're going to actually do the build this day here. This week, it's all about the build, creating that wealth, that stream of income that you know is yours and that is possible for you with grace and with ease. So grab your journal this week here and let's go ahead and dive in. Be sure to share this out if this information is resonating with you and you know an ambitious young lady or slightly seasoned young lady who actually is ready to experience the freedom to be, the family to love, and finances to enjoy. Share this out. Sharing is caring. And especially if she is a single parent entrepreneur, because we didn't have a guidebook when we went through it. And that's what we're here to do, to help support that single parent entrepreneur, as well as the ambitious woman in building wealth through business with ease in our community called Live Richer with Ease. So today we're going to go ahead and we're going to get right into it. Undercharging is not humility. It's actually limiting the flow of everything that could possibly come to you when you undercharge, rich friend. So let's talk about this here in particularly. There's this story that we're all quite familiar with, especially my Bible-based friends. You know this story quite well. So bear with me on this if I kind of put it in Vivian context. But nonetheless, this is there's a story of talents. Once a master, and in this case, we're going to bring it into relative today's terms, a business owner went away. And before she was leaving, what she did was she called on 3 of her besties that actually know how to work the business, make it grow and do the things that it do and expand, right? She called on 3 of her besties. And what she said was, okay, here, I'm going to give you, Mary, this amount. And Martha, I'm going to give you this amount. Now, Jewel, we're going to give you this amount over here. Now, and I'll be back, and go ahead and do what you do. Do your thing. Well, while she was gone away, she had a great time and she relaxed in her business and she knew her business was in good hands. However, when she came back and she sat down and she took tally and she says, okay, let's have a debrief and let's find out what went on while I was away, how things were going. And so she says, hey, come on, let's talk about it. Okay, Mary, how did things go in your department while I was away? Mary said, oh, great. I did this and this. I took what you gave me and I multiplied it. Boom. And so, okay, that's good. Wonderful. Exciting. Good for you, Mary. Good for us. Okay, Martha, what did you do? How did things go in your department while I was away? Oh, that was good what Mary did. But honey, let me show you what I did over here. Come on over here and look at this. Boom, boom, boom. Looking at the balance sheets. And it's, oh my gosh, you quadrupled what you was given. Oh, wow. Look at you. All right. Come on, Julie. Come on, Jewel. Let's do this. Show me what you got. Well, here's what happened. I know that you're very shrewd and you're strict and you like to see a certain level of return on your investment. So what I did, and I thought was in the best interest, that if I didn't want to risk losing what you had entrusted into me. So what I did was I took it and I put it over into the local bank. Just put it in a local bank and just let it sit there until you return. And so here it is. Just what just what you gave me. Here it is. Now the businesswoman, how did you think she felt She invested in 3, and 2 came back with a return. How do you think she felt? How do you think she felt, rich friend? She said, okay. Well, give me what you had in savings. Thank you very much. Martha and Mary, here, and here. Divvied it up. Now, do you think that the business owner may have been a bit too curt and too stern and too rude, and maybe even possibly rude in this situation? Do you, rich friend? Well, actually, she was not, because she's a businesswoman. And as a businesswoman, we expect increase. That's what business is. We do business for profit. Even the nonprofit is for profit. There's a profit to be had there. Now, the thing is, and the moral of the story is, if we don't use what we have, we will lose it. And it will be given away to someone else that knows how to use it. And that's not going to happen to us, rich friends. At least not on my watch over here. It's not going to happen as long as we're talking and we're having these conversations. So what I want you to think about is what skill that you have, okay? You have a skill. Each one of us have a divine skill that we were given, and we get to utilize those skills, and we get to multiply it. And it's multiplied when we use it. Okay, rich friend, remember that it's multiplied when we use the skills that we have and that's been given unto us. So think about one skill that you have that you've been sitting on the fence with, because see, in the previous weeks, we discovered, and when for week 1, we looked through the skill, we did an arsenal, we did an inventory of the skill sets that each of us have individually. They're all not the same. We have skills though, but there are individual skills. We did an inventory of that in week 1. And then in week 2, we decided and we determined how to actually monetize that skill. Say that word with me, monetize. That's one of our words we always use in the world of business. It's called monetization. Monetize that particular skill. And to do it with grace and with ease. And today is when we actually create and put some gas on it, put our foot on the gas and let it rev up and go. All right. So we're going to do the create exercise here in just a few moments here. So I want you to think about this here. What are you charging for that skill and that gift? What are you charging for your skill and your particular gift? Because the price that you communicate, the value, the price that you set and you communicate, that also communicates the value of what you believe your skills carry. So whatever price point you're offering your services and rendering them to others at, that sets the tone for the relationship. It sets the tone for the value that you believe. It speaks all about it. So if you're over here doing a spectacular job, doing the most and giving the best, and you're only charging crumbs, that's a messaging you're sending to people. I can recall at one point when I had preschools, and where my preschool was located was on like a preschool roll. They call it daycare roll in my community. At some point it was called that. And it was just like all day, because we were like less than we were within 15 feet or 25 feet of each other. Okay, that's how it was working. Now here's what was happening. Everybody on that street had same product pretty much, just different offerings of it. Okay, no different than when you go down the bread aisle, no different when you go down the wine aisle, no different when you go in any grocery store. Same products, different price points. But what I have found, what was happening within us, and I'm going to tell you what we were doing over there, is people would start to say the market value of the services we were offering was let's just say for round numbers, 175 a week for a preschooler. 175. What was happening was new people were coming in and they were saying, oh, I'll do it just for 100. I'll do it for $75. $50 a week. That's just perfectly fine for a preschooler, right? Now, what was the message they were communicating? What was the message they were communicating and they were doing to the market? What were they doing? What would you say? Yes, that's right, Rose. They were driving the market down. That's right. They were undervaluing the services, and underpricing is what we're going to talk about here. Where are you underpricing? Where are you underpricing and undervaluing your services? Because what you're doing when you underprice your services is you're training yourself to give more and receive less, which ultimately breeds resentment, makes you feel as if this ain't worth it. Why am I doing this? And it really actually is choking out the lifeline, the supply that you have. You have a heart for doing what you do in your business. You have a passion for it. You show up diligently. You appreciate every moment of it. However, when you're underpricing, what is happening is you are undervaluing yourself. And therefore, you're building a resentment track because you're going to say soon enough, because it's not going to be enough to support you and sustain you. And so, pardon me, you will feel resentment and like, why am I even doing this? It's not benefiting. It's a lot of work. I do this. I show up every day. I do the thing. And many of you have businesses where you are coaching, where you're mentoring, where you're supporting others into their next level. And you may feel like you're showing up, you're talking to the camera, you're talking to the people in your path every day. However, your price point, and when they ask us your price point and you share your price point, you're a little intimidated and you say, oh, it's just this much. What you've done is undervalue yourself and undervalue the service that you're offering, which is communicating a message that it's not really worth it. Now, the other area where you're shrinking your skills, the second area where you're shrinking your skills is over delivering and under compensating. Okay, you're over delivering to compensate for your price. Now, some of you have no problem with charging your price as your price, and that is a good stance, a good posture to have. The price is the price. However, you may give more than what the price is worth. The price is the price, but you're overextending. You're extending longer hours. You're extending more availability. If you say that your office hours are Monday through Friday or Tuesday and Thursday, and however someone reaches out to you on a Saturday morning or Saturday evening with a situation, and you respond to them on that Saturday afternoon, and you provide services during that time, you are actually over delivering. And that speaks a lot to how you view and value yourself. How we communicate with others is a clear reflection of how and what we believe about ourselves, rich friend. So I want you to lean into that. When you charge too little, then you over deliver to soothe your own guilt. That's what it's about, soothing your own guilt about the price. When you add bonuses, you extend the timelines, you throw in extras and all of that good stuff. The client gets more than what they paid for. So what you're doing is you're over delivering and undercharging, which is still the same as underpricing. It's the same thing. It's the same thing because the price goes down as you continue to deliver. Yeah. Think about volume sales. If you go to your, the store that in America, where most people go and pick up a lot of little ins and outs. And you go there and you notice that the quality of customer service is not up to par because there has been an over delivering of services, of goods, this high volume. They're doing it, just turning the mill. Got a lot of people coming in, a lot of people going out, a lot of people coming in, a lot of people going out, a lot coming in, a lot going out, a lot going in, coming out, like that. It's a high volume business. However, the quality of service is less than what you would expect. And we don't want you or your business to be associated with that. That's not a part of your rich signature. Your rich signature is nowhere in that. So you want to make certain that you are actually delivering at the price point the amount of services. That's it. Additional services are an additional fee. Now, like in one of our affiliates here was sharing that she had a client that one of our members in our community was sharing that she had a client. She performed services where she builds out websites and funnels and things of that nature for her clients. And however, one of her clients reached out to her after she had completed the entire project, ready to deliver. And the client reached back and said, I would like to make this change. I would like for you to do this. I would like to do that. Now, our client asked this question in the group before she responded. How should she respond to this? Because this was her first client and she was super excited and she wanted to do a great job. Well, in that she wanted to do a great job, she thought that she should just go ahead and do the extra changes complimentary so that you can get a referral. Well, Richard, let me tell you, it don't work like that in business. It does not work like that in business, that you do all the extra, you price at a competitive rate, and then you over deliver in services, and then you do additional work without compensation. You're setting yourself up on the track to be resentful and also to choke out the stream from which your energy flows, from which your wealth flows. Because whenever we're resentful and we're holding hard feelings towards someone or something, it shows up in not just that particular relationship, it shows up in all of our experiences. So we want to make sure that we are keeping ourselves fluid so that we can be a channel of flow for wealth to come in and continue to flow through us, and we can continue to disseminate and we can distribute that wealth with ease. Now, the third way is, now this one, I might step on your toes a little bit here, but this is one where you're apologizing in the offer, in your language, okay? Now, I recently had a conversation with one of our rich circle members. And when she came into our program, what she would say to me often, and she would describe her offer and what she was sharing, how she helped people, it's just this, it's just that. It's, it's just a little thing I do. It's just this here. It's just that. Well, having this conversation with her recently, I said, well, explain your offer. And I do this, and as a result of working with me, clients receive XYZ. Now, that communicated a different value, a different posture, as opposed to, I just do this, I just do that. And working with her over that to help her hear herself, because a lot of times we don't hear ourselves. We are not aware. We have blindsided by certain things because we're just used to doing it a certain way, and we're used to speaking a certain way. And as we always share with you in the Rich Society, your words are your life. Your words are life. All right? Your words are life. But working with her over a period of time, not long, over a period of time, she changed her posture, her view of herself, her services, and all those things. And so now she communicates, as a result of working with me, as a result of working with my company, this is what the client experience is. Boom, like that. because apologizing in your price and diminishing what you're servicing, diminishing your offering, it communicates to others that you're not sure and you're not certain. And more recently, I had an experience. I went to a cosmetic counter inside of one of the nice big brands department store. And my first experience was because I was having some issues with my skin, and I really felt as if I needed some support beyond what I had been receiving. And so the lady, and it was a little late closing towards the closing hours. That young lady, when I told her what was going on with my face, she says, "Okay, no worries. Can we try here? This is this will do this for you. This will do that, and this will do that. I'm going to give you a sample. I want you to try it out and see how it works for you, and let me know exactly how it works. I'm pretty sure, you're going to love it. Da, da, da. You're going to love this." I went back, and of course I did use it, and I loved it. My face feels like amazing, absolutely amazing. However, the sample was going away. It was running low. I went back to get it, but I went at a different time and she was not there. And so the other young lady that I was speaking with, and I told her, I said, "Well, this is what I had. I brought in, the bottles of the samples that I did have, and some of them were not marked." So the other lady was saying, "Well, based on what you're telling me," I told her the whole scenario of what was going on with my face. And she said, "Okay, based on what you've shared, this is what's going to work for you. I think this is going to work. I believe this is going to work. I'm not sure, but you might want to try this. I don't know." And she wasn't really firm, and I wouldn't say firm. She was not confident in what she was presenting. And she says, "Well, my other colleague, she knows this and this and this. She's been with the company before, since it pretty much started. She knows all of these ins and outs. I just started a few weeks ago." That was my cue. Explains it. She just started a few weeks ago. She had not developed her confidence yet in what she was doing. And so therefore it was creating a problem in communicating the value of the product. And also it really concerned me as to whether I was going to get the product that was best for me. So how we communicate what we offer, that's exactly what our clients are going to hear, and that's how our business is going to be set up, and that's the energy and flow that things are going to come through. And so the language you use to describe your skill is the container the client experiences it through. However you explain it, that's how the client is going to experience it. So I want you to take a few moments now. We're going to get a sheet of paper. Those of you that have your journal, the journey, you have your journal, go ahead and get that out, because this is where we're going to get into the exercise, and we get to do this. Okay, this is a work we do here up in the Live Richer with Ease in the Rich Society. We work together through this here to help ambitious women like yourself to discover your rich signature, which allows you to live richer with ease, with the freedom to be, the family to love, the finances to enjoy and share. Yes, and all of that is with ease. So let's go ahead and get started creating. We're going to get the sheet of paper. We're going to write down. I want you to write down. I'm going to give you 3 prompts, but I want you to work with this, okay? Because we're going to work with this here to develop this so that we are that confident. We're that good steward. We are going to multiply what we have up in these streets, all right? We get to multiply all of our beingness. And it's not just limited to our business, even in our families, even in our finances. Our business does relate to our finances, but even in our well-being, when we take care of ourselves, we are able to actually communicate better, and others will see that and feel that, energy that we take care of ourselves, and they will want to be in that space of it. And our families, when we're taking care of ourselves, we're able to give more to our families. We're able to communicate better with our families. We are able to do all the things. Okay, rich friend? So here we go. Let's go. Prompt 1. I want you to name one skill, just only one skill where you have been shrinking. Be very specific. Do not say in my coaching business, or I want you to name the actual capacity. Example is, okay, I've been shrinking in my ability to copyright. I've been shrinking in my ability to edit videos. I've been shrinking in my ability to run ads. I have been shrinking in my ability to read a balance sheet and know where my money is and how, understand where the leaks might be. Some of you may have these things really going on in your business. I want you to look at the areas where you might be shrinking in your career. If you are in leadership, where are you shrinking? Are you choosing not to expand yourself in the world of AI and technology skill sets? Where are you shrinking? Are you choosing, hey, I'm just not going to get on board with this. I hear they're saying AI is here, but I'm just not getting on board with that. No worries. We do have a program inside of the R.I.C.H Society. We do help and support you with learning and staying current with AI technology and skills. And so forth. So I want you to write down in this here, name one skill you have been shrinking in. And then the second thing I want you to do, okay? Which of the three patterns are you using to shrink? So I gave you three patterns before, and I'm going to repeat them to you. Which of the three are you using to shrink? Are you using the underpricing to shrink yourself? Are you actually using the over delivering where you're giving so much that you really are resentful and you're exhausted? Or are you apologizing for your price? Are you apologizing for what you're offering? Because when you come into a place of apologetics and you come and present situation from an apologetic standpoint, it does not work. It ruins the whole experience. It's going to be one that you're going to be apologizing the whole time through. Trust and believe me, it will. Now, the third prompt and the third question I want you to ask of yourself is, what would it be like to use the skill fully this week? What would it be like to use that skill set that you might have been sitting on fully this week? So if you said, the skill set that I've been utilizing and I've been shrinking on is actually running ads, okay? Running ads. I've been shrinking on. It's a skill set I do have a knowledge of. I know how to do it, and I do a good job. However, I don't want to run ads and have everybody looking at my product and they might not like it or whatever and all those things and my price point and so on. So stop it. Stop it, rich friend, because you're more than enough. Your skills are more than enough. You are given a gift to use, and that gift has to be utilized. If it's not being utilized, it will be taken away from you. As we started out and shared with you about the talents, it will go away if you're not using it. I can't say it enough. If you don't use it, you will lose it. Okay, just remember that. You don't use it, you will lose it. So you got those three. So then the last question I want you to answer is, I want you to do this here. Write a declaration, okay? Write a declaration, and I'm going to give it to you. So go ahead and write this down with you, okay? My skill is a sacred trust. I use fully. I price it fairly, and I let the flow move through me. My skill is a sacred trust. Okay, it's a sacred trust. Your skill is your gift from the divine, from God. It is yours. It is yours. So you get to actually use it fully. Use it. It's your skill. It's your gift. Use it fully. Price it fairly. I price it fairly. And I let it flow and move through me. Let it flow and move through me. And this I will share with you, rich friend. When you let your gift and your skill flow through you and let it move through you easily, you're going to get ideas, and it's just become entwined. It's so delicious. It's just, the things are going to flow and ideas are going to come to you. People are going to come into your experience just because you are using your gift. Just because you decided to take what you have and share it and multiply it by sharing it. You decide to do that, your gift goes out and it brings back unto you a profit with ease. That's how this works. This is nothing new under the sun, rich friend, but I'm just here to remind you. I'm here to remind you that you have everything within you to be, do, and have whatever it is you want and to be successful. All right. Someone says, okay, I, I see you. Oh, but the market won't pay for that. That won't pay you for your skills and service. What do you mean? What do you mean the market won't pay you for it? Have you not been on the bread aisle? Let's look at it. Let's look at it this way. All right. I want you to, this is going to be a bold step, and I want you to breathe it in and let's get it out. Okay. If you're telling yourself that the market won't pay you for your services and pay you for what you're worth, then you've had that conversation before. You even presented it to the market. And so whatever you're conscious of, that's what you're going to experience. Remember, rich, realize I am consciousness happening. We're all rich. Realize I am consciousness happening. So since you're in the consciousness that the market will not pay you for your services, then that's what you're going to experience. Let's consider this. I would ask you to say it this way. The market will pay me what I believe I'm worth. The market will pay me what I believe my services are worth. All right? They're not going to pay you exactly what you're worth, but they're going to pay you what your services are worth, because based on what you believe about your services and you believe about the market, everything and every around you will rise or fall according to your beliefs. Whatever your belief is, and that's what you're going to experience, rich friend. And all right. I see you. Someone said, I'm afraid of losing clients if you change your price points. Let me tell you this. What helped me when I was experiencing that, especially in the preschool industry, and then also when I was doing financial services with regards to helping people obtain financing and funding for their businesses and things of that nature, or even structuring their businesses, and even taxes. Oh, let me tell you about the taxes too. I can tell you on all of those scenarios, my price point was higher, much higher than in my local competitors. Reason being, I knew the value that I'd add to them. I knew the transformation, even like in working within our communities here. Our price point on certain things is definitely higher than most, because I know the value that we bring, the transformations, and how we're going to help you shift into your rich signature, which is going to change not only your life, but impact the lives of everyone that's in your experience. So one of the things that helped me to do all of that and to get to that, the first thing was, especially back in the preschool days, was I had to write my prices down in writing. And then I communicated those price points in writing. Okay? In writing. It was not a verbal communication of the price point or the service, the fees for the services. Because here's what happened. We as women, most of us are very intuitive, especially in this community. We're very intuitive. We can pick up on the energy flow, and we can pick up when this shifts a little bit, or when there's a little questioning as to, a little hesitancy. And so when we pick up on that in a verbal communication, what most often happens when we're not solidified in our rich signature is we go, okay, for you, I'll do it this way. Our normal price is, but for you, and in this case, and so forth, and we start to diminish. And as you continue to do that and diminish, what's happening is your self-esteem and your value of yourself and your perception of yourself is also diminishing. And when that diminishing continues to happen, it not only stays with you, it spreads around you. That's an energy that spreads around you. So what you get to do, communicate it in writing. That's the easiest way. That's one of the easiest ways that I have found to help build that muscle And then when it comes back in writing, if they have an objection or have more questions, most often it's not an objection. They just need more information. They just need more information. That's all. We make decisions based on the amount of information and confidence we receive. If the confidence isn't there and the information is lacking, we're not going to move much further along in the process. However, put it in writing. That's what I say. Just put it in writing and let them do it. Any other questions? Okay. Someone says, okay, you don't know if you're ready? My friend, my rich friend, you don't know if you're ready? Well, do this. Breathe it in. You are ready, rich friend. Your ability to know that you're ready comes after taking action. Once you take action, there's clarity comes through in the action and the movement. Move in the direction of what you want to experience. And guess what? Everything that's needed will start to line up around you. Everything will start to build around you. Everything that you need to that will support you will come. And therefore, your readiness will continue to grow and expand as you expand, rich friend. Readiness is a result and of you actually taking the first step. One step. That's all you have to do is take one step. It doesn't come first and then you take action. You take action based off of the information you've received and the perceptions and the feeling that you know this is the aligned next step. Take that action and move forward in that. I love this question. Yes, I love this question here. Okay, it feels arrogant when you state your price. What do you mean? It is not arrogant when you use your gift. You've been given a gift and you choose not to use your gift. Now that is arrogance, to expect to be compensated because you're not using your gift that was given to you. That is arrogance. To even doubt the gift that's been given to you. That is arrogance. So, Richard, let's go back to the parable of the sower, of the talents. What are you doing? If you're not using your talents, they are going to be taken away. Now, I don't want you to be fearful and say, oh, I got to use all these talents. Which one do I use and all this? No. You know the one that's pressing on your heart right now, that's just coming up and saying, hey, I'm ready. Let's do this. Let's try that. That little nudge that you constantly receiving, that's the talent that we want you to lock in on. That's the gift we want you to lock in on and present to the world. Don't take it and bury it. Because when you do, you are at that point choosing to not be a good steward over what's been entrusted unto you. So this week we have been creating, and I want you to take this here, what we've created so far, answering these questions, moving through this, also using your journal and continuing to work through the daily exercises therein, giving yourself space and time to expand. Because next week we're going into the harmonizing. That's the part where we bring it all together, and you're going to also see and notice how things are shifting and changing. And especially if you're writing it down in your journal, the journey, writing down each time you see or experience as a result of doing the work of showing up for yourself, you see how it gets, you see things pop off for you. We call them we have a block in the journal for manifestations, because you're supposed to be manifesting every single day, rich friend. You are. Now the question is, are you aware? That's what the question is. You're manifesting every day, all day. Let's see, are you aware? And document your awareness when you are aware that you are actually manifesting. So then that way, what's going to happen is your manifestation muscle is going to get stronger, and you're going to have some big muscles, or big guns, as they call them over here in the gym world. And then you'll actually be able to move and flow more fluid within your gifts, and your experiences will actually start to look and live richer with ease when you use it. So next week, your only assignment between now and then is to use what we've written down today, and also raise your price. You have to raise your price, rich friend. If you're experiencing a lack in your experience right now, it's most often because you are not charging enough for your services, or no one knows you have services. So you know where you sit. You know where you're sitting. No one knows where it is. I want you to send the offer, okay? Do the work. Use the law of use. Send the offers. Write the note today. Do the thing that you know that will move the needle, even if you're not ready. And next week, we'll be back with evidence of what happened as a result, because we are living richer with ease over here. Until the next time, I'm Vivian Rich. It is a great day to be rich.